Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Certified Male Podcast. It's your boy, Ant.
And it's your boy Tati, aka Mr. Slow Stickum himself.
And you guessed it, it's your boy Jay, aka Mr. Light Skin Key Sweat.
Yes, sir. It's your boy Drew. And here on this podcast, we will be addressing all topics of life as we deliver our unfiltered, unbiased 2 cents on everything discussion worthy. I ain't gonna lie, y'all boys. I'm a bit excited, man. First podcast. Go kick it off right here.
Hell yeah.
First
Got
one.
4 great minds here.
Hey man, this been in the works for the last 3 months. Trying to give y'all the best product possible, getting everything together, everything in order, just so you can deliver the perfect message.
Some good content.
Yeah, man. We gonna need some of that content today, cause I ain't gonna lie. I've been looking at this past week, and my sports teams ain't hold it up, man. They ain't do what they were supposed to do. My fantasy team got injuries. The Dolphins let the Jets come in and drop 40.
40, dog. I ain't never in football history. I ain't never seen a Jet put 40 on my boys, man.
Well,
And they did the water dance in the end zone.
And they did the waddle dance, man.
history was made, boy. Your fantasy football team, man. I'm about 1-7.
I ain't like, but you keep that over there. Keep all that over
Boy,
there.
I need all the help.
that
I don't need none of that bad
garbage.
juju. That garbage.
Boy, Juju ain't even playing good himself.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna need a little this topic. I'm gonna need this topic for this week I've been going through. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all boys.
Well, let's drop it on them then. Everybody, we appreciate you for tuning in. We wanted to make this first episode special. So for the first topic on the Certified Male Podcast, we kicking it off the right way and we discussing mental health.
Yes, sir. Mental health, I feel like in the community, even outside the community, is not talked about enough.
At all.
Nah, not at all, man, for real. And it should be.
It definitely should, because I mean, you look at it, it's part of everyday life, bro. Everything you do, everything you don't do, it's like mental health is involved with all of that. So not having it, I feel like
I
it
don't
does
think enough
damage
of
when you
us
don't
take it
have those
seriously either.
combos.
Why y'all think
Yeah.
that happened, though?
Man, I think a lot of people got a lot of issues that they didn't deal with in their youth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they never dealt with it. It just, you swept it under the rug, and then you come back, it's just a pile of shit after a certain time. So I mean, it all
And
builds up.
True. And growing up as a young male, shit, we learned to deal with our feelings on our own.
And that's the hardest
Yeah,
part about
for
it,
sure.
bro. That's one of the hardest parts about it, like that male aspect, because come to find out, 79% of people who commit suicide are actually male. So just that whole thought process kind of scares me thinking about it, because it's like, damn, that all falls in the mental health. And sometimes you can save a life just by listening to somebody or just talking to somebody, you feel me? So
I think
it's
a huge part that play in it also is like poverty or debt. Sometimes social disadvantages, social isolation as well.
I definitely
Like
agree
you
with that
said,
poverty.
yeah, like you said before, childhood abuse,
Oh, for
trauma.
sure, man. Speaking of childhood abuse, I had ran across something, and I thought it was pretty interesting. An interesting, topic. So it says, perhaps if tearful little boys were comforted instead of shame, there wouldn't be so many angry men struggling to empathize with their own emotions.
So perhaps because of mental illness or simply not concentrated, you would say it would be mostly physical illness.
I think that it's a as kids as kids when you're growing up, people just like they got that hey, listen, it's gonna be okay, stop that crying mentality, or suck it up, boys don't cry, you know what I'm saying? And then as men we remember that, like, oh boy, man, boys don't cry, men don't cry, like, and a lot of that stuff as a kid, it really can affect you as you start getting older, going through your teenage years, and you get in your 20s, and you just got a whole bunch of unresolved problems from when you was a child that is causing you real mental health issues.
Real talk, Brad. And I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, as males, sometimes you don't even want to talk about your problems to everybody. Like, you don't, it's like a pride thing. We got so much pride. You don't want nobody to know when you weak or when you down or you not feeling it, like it's something you rather just keep to yourself or try to mask it as long as you can. So I think like having these conversations, talking about it, or even talking amongst your peers or your friends, I feel like they will help people open up more, especially males. You get to open up more and feel a little comfort in just being around folks and having the same feelings that you wouldn't even know some folks have.
I was just gonna ask though, like, what age group y'all think that affects us the most? Because I think it's like around our
Mm.
age of 13 to 18, around that age, we deal with mental illness in our lifespan.
I would say that and the only reason I'm gonna say this is because I ran across it myself, looking up analytics and stuff, and it said 26.4% of men, black men, Hispanic men, ages 18 to 44, have yet to use mental health services, but experience daily anxiety or depression.
So
Man, what
would
was
you
it,
think
26%?
Only 26% have used mental health services, and that's too little. That's not even, that's a whole 74% of men out here who ain't handling their business, in they cranium.
Dang.
so? You
That's
so you would say mental health is basically like emotional, social well-being that affects your
Yeah, I
thinking
think it.
and
I
feelings.
think it's a lot of things. I think it's emotional. I think it's spiritual. I think it's physical. It's a lot of things that tie into your mental health.
yeah, and sometimes it's someone just waking up and telling you good morning. That that do a lot for somebody day and
Facts.
like just not even just they day, like sometimes your whole week, like dang, this person told me like you just thinking about it, like I walked into a place I was mad by nothing. They had nothing to do with why I was mad, but I'm ordering something and she said good morning. Okay,
It's
that's
just
just
Hmm.
like I can't even be mad no more. Like you in a good mood, you having a good day. I don't even want to bring your energy down. Like I can't even be mad no
Facts.
more.
Facts. Hmm.
so so it's just like in our little group chat where we have like our little mental health check-ins that really do big for me. That get me through my day sometimes.
And how you
Yeah, that
feeling today on a scale from 1 to 10?
Oh, right now, since it's a nigga B day, no cap, like a good 10. A good 10.
Hey, hey, shout
oh
out, hey,
yeah.
shout out to my boy, man, for
Shout out
his
to my boy,
birthday,
man.
man.
Oh
Thank you,
man.
thank you.
I don't need that boy sneaking up on me. I'm cooling. I'm cooling.
that's what that back in the knees hurt a little bit more.
What? Hey, let's go play basketball. I don't know, man. My body's still sore from that last time.
Man, y'all already know I ain't going back out there after what
At,
happened.
at all.
Hey, yeah. How you been dealing with that, bro? Like your mental, just dealing with that injury, because I feel like that's an injury where you isolated a lot. You spend a lot of time to yourself, and it's just like you
Man,
might get in your head a lot.
it's good. It's funny that you asked that question because I was thinking about it myself, man. Like every day, I think to myself, like, bro, I really tore my Achilles, and you're right. It's like it teach you a lot of patience, man. Like at first, in the beginning, I was down, I was frustrated, I was, just taking it negatively, man, because everything is different. Taking a shower different, going to school different, driving was different. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like I take it day by day, and I understand that it's a long game. It's not something that's like I'm gonna walk tomorrow. I'm gonna be sprinting tomorrow. But I've been taking it. I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, like a little 7. It's still new. It's still fresh, man. It's tough though, but
How y'all mental health today, man? Since y'all asking me.
I mean, me, I ain't gonna lie, I'm good, man. I'm feeling good. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll probably give you a good 9 today. Uh, Mostly in part due to this podcast. Getting on this for the first time. I know we're gonna talk about a lot. We're gonna cover a lot of topics. So just being open about that, and just overall, bro, it was just a good day. The week has been going good so far. Hopefully, I can end it the right way, and I ain't got no complaints.
I would say mine is about I'm sitting around a 6. You know what I'm saying? I'm honestly like reaching back out to my therapist, trying to get back into therapy, get my mind right. Cause hey, life gonna hit sometimes, and when a
all the
lot of stuff
time.
in life hit, yeah, all the time. When those things hit, you gotta kind of recognize like, okay, I need to work through some problems that you can't solve yourself. You need some professional advice and help.
Yeah, and I be going through some things like, well, especially back then, like I used to go through a lot, and I ain't never think of therapy. I ain't never
Me
think like,
neither.
hey, let me go holler at such and such and see if they could talk to me or they could, understand what I'm going through. I ain't never think about that, bro. And I always had it,
And why
offered
is
to me.
that though?
People always told me. Um, Honestly, it's because I try to be my own therapist. I sit
True.
down and I be like, because bro, like nobody know you better than yourself. This is what I
Dr.
say to
Drew.
myself. This is what I say
True
to myself,
statement.
and it's not the best thing to say, but nobody know you better than yourself. So a lot of times when I'm going through something or I'm thinking too hard on something, I try to think it through. I try to understand myself, because I haven't been to therapy, I get this thought that maybe this person is just gonna sit there and try to figure me out. So what if I could figure myself out before they figure it out? And that's the honest reason why I've never been to therapy. I just always felt like I could just figure it out.
Hey, so with figuring yourself out, when you try to do it yourself, you more lax to you more you more lax to getting fixing yourself. So things come up, you're like, nah, I can lean off that. Maybe I can come back later to another topic. But in therapy, you can't do that. It's whatever's the topic of the day. That's the topic of the day.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's like they gonna force. I don't want to say force because that's a like an aggressive word, but I don't want to say force. But they're gonna
Lead you the right way.
Ease you.
you got to talk about that because if you can't, it's like you can hit that wall. Like, oh, I can't get to the next session or I can't get to the next stage of healing if I don't resolve that problem right
It's
there.
steps. It's steps you got to take. So baby steps to work your way up to the big, major things that happen in your life.
So, speaking from a point of view where me myself, I haven't took a therapy. What was your breaking point? How did you know your breaking point?
For me, I felt like the moment where I felt like I was depending on other people to be happy is the time where I needed to step back and let somebody diagnose me the right way.
You want to elaborate on that a little bit? You said
Um,
people when you was leaning on people to keep you happy.
so like for instance, so when I stayed down there, I used to host a game night every Friday, Saturday. Have my boys over, we drinking, playing cards, Jenga, whatever. So when I left, it was like a part of me was missing. Like I needed that. So when I realized that, that was my moment to step into therapy.
Yeah, for me, my breaking point was, man, I was just overly stressed, biting my nails. And like for a long time, people would tell me like, yeah, go to therapy. Like especially like when I got diagnosed with MS, oh yeah, go to therapy. Like they had group therapy and stuff. I was like, nah, I ain't going to no group therapy. So if I was like, I'm gonna go to therapy. Let's see what it's like. Yeah, honestly, like it really like changed my perspective on it because I used to look at it like, oh no, this person who how they gonna tell me or not to say what to do, but how to cope if they don't really understand what I'm going through inside. But it's not about them understanding what you're going through. It's about them giving their professional insight on, all right, so you tell them one thing and they're gonna find that small piece of what you said that you didn't even think about that's really your issue. I don't know. It really is refreshing and it changed my perspective.
So like, I want to know because y'all two have been in therapy before. I'm a person who I would talk about my problems amongst my peers, amongst people, especially my brothers. I'll talk about my problems to y'all. Y'all would see that. So like, and I feel like I get some real like feedback. I get real relief when I release stuff like that, or I would say something that was on my mind. So what do you think is different other than the professionalism of going to a therapist rather than talking to a trusted friend or somebody?
Your friends are biased.
Yeah. So like
What
we
if they're not?
know we know like what you've been through because you came to us before. Like, okay, we the outside looking in, like, okay, we see him doing this. Maybe you can just change this one thing that make you feel better. But they going from they working from your childhood to your adulthood. So we just getting you right now. They trying to figure out, okay, your childhood started here, which grew to make you do this and grew to make you do this. But if you stop doing this one thing, it change all that. It fix all that.
Mm-hmm.
As friends, we tend to try to comfort most of the time. You know, somebody
Oh
feeling
yeah,
down.
that's
You
there,
wanna,
there you go. You hit it on the head right there.
yeah, you
Comfort.
want to. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of them friends who keep it real with you. Like, I'm gonna comfort you. I'm not gonna make you feel bad or shame you or judge you. But I'm gonna just keep it real with you. I feel like if you come to me, you know, you want a real honest response or something. You know, you want honest feedback. So like, if I know my dog,
Yeah,
now I
but
know
your
his
realness
is a
didn't
big
solve
dog.
my problem.
I mean,
Because
did it
there's
not?
a root of the problem. You giving me the advice gonna make me see how I should step from where I'm at, but I need to double back and see where's the actual root of the issue.
I gotta check this therapy thing y'all talking about. It sound like I'm
Nah,
Sound
but
very
this
interesting.
person gonna dig my brain.
yeah, nah, but Drew is that one that where if you
Nah,
come to him with
he gonna keep it
something,
real.
he gonna give it to you real. But
Yeah, he is.
sometimes we don't want to hear that. Like he's not
For
gonna,
real,
he gonna talk to
I
you a
feel
little
that.
bit,
I feel that.
but he gonna
Yeah,
give
yeah.
it to you raw. Like, okay, you did this, but you gotta think about it. You've been doing all this, and that. But if you do this, but I know this guy, so I know what he's
Text
doing.
that boy back, man. Get off my phone.
Yeah.
You supposed to be on my side. Wrong you.
You supposed to be on my side.
Supposed to be biased.
Hey, now you get here, like, how do we get here?
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel you coming from on that. I know a couple moments where that actually happened between me and him. You know, I done had it with all my dogs, but Jayla and I remember specifically when that happened.
Yeah, that's what I thought about when you said that. I'm like, yeah, this boy here, yeah, he know.
But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out, man. Therapy sound like something, you know. I feel like even if you don't feel like you need it, it's something that you should do just because it frees you. It kind of make you, you know, it kind of open your mind up.
Hey, don't let social media be the reason why you don't take that step to get in. You might not need the help, but just to getting a chance to learn yourself. Social media make it not cool to go to therapy. Well, now it's starting to get cool. Everybody's trying to push it, celebrities and things, but don't let social media be, oh, now this boy in therapy, nah, something wrong with him. Something wrong. Don't let that be the reason why you don't go.
Especially in our generation, social media plays a big part in our life. I feel like that is our blueprint to our life. Like we looking for opinions. If people
Of
like
others.
this, yeah, yeah. Like we looking for the
Confirmation.
glory. Yeah, confirmation. That's the word I'm looking for. Confirmation. That shit is just sickening.
And that's what's wrong with a lot of people, because they don't get that confirmation. So now they gonna try to go above and beyond the, okay, hold on, I ain't get that confirmation here, so now I got to go do the next thing. Like I even saw, like one time I read an article like somebody went in like $10,000 worth of debt just so they could look good on Instagram. Like that's a real mental health issue right there.
I ain't going out.
I feel like
I ain't
social
going out.
media, it plays into mental health like so negatively, but at the same time, it does have a positive impact because it allows people to be open. Like some people really don't have nobody to go to. Never even
Mhm.
heard of a therapist, don't live by one, that don't live over there. So like they will run the social media to talk about their problems, but at the same time, it's bittersweet because you would see things that's an illusion. Like that's not real. This person that you went to school with when y'all was kids, you know, this is their best life they're living right now. You could do the same thing. You could live that best life too. It's social media. It's supposed to look like that. It's supposed to look like, you know, you're at your best. You're not gonna post something with you looking crazy or you looking raggedy. Ain't nobody posting the picture of them crying. Like
At
I better
all.
not see you posting no picture of you crying.
Hey,
on
y'all
live.
seen
You
I had
posting
posted
your
that picture
best
the other
pic.
day with my bald head looking crazy. It don't even matter to me.
You posting your best pic.
You ain't
Best,
posted on your page. You posting your story though.
You
yeah,
right.
you ain't leaving it up there. You ain't leaving it up there.
Nah, it was up there for 24 hours.
It's crazy
Don't
how
worry,
you
I got.
say. It's crazy how you say mental health play a big part or is affected by the social media because it really increases how I said, depression or anxiety or loneliness.
It leads you because it leads you
Like,
to compare. Like comparison is the thief of
hmm
joy, and social media leads you to compare. No matter
amen.
what, you're going to compare this and that to your life somehow, some way, or you're going to compare somebody else see to somebody else you see. Like you doing it to yourself. You can't let the illusion get to your mind like that.
Yeah, if nobody goes through the same thing, so what you going through, they probably not going through that. They probably like some of us we grew up without a two parent household, but they probably did. They probably their parents probably making they got a 2 income house where they can buy them a car, have them
Hmm
go out here with looking fresh here, doing all this, and you trying to compare to that, it's like it's not even possible. It's not something that's substantially capable of doing.
It's crazy how you say that because according to Child Mind Institution, about 13 to 66% high rate of reported depression for the youth, like teenagers, young adults, when they're using the platforms like Instagram, Facebook, looking for seeking that how would I say it?
That acceptance, that confirmation.
Yeah,
Yeah, man, it's
Yeah,
the youth,
social
the youth, the
media.
youth. Social media killing the youth. Like I'm just being real about it. Like I coach baseball and stuff, and I could just tell, like, man, like the youth is in trouble, man. They really have to. They got to open their eyes to see what it really is. Like, it's like
Exactly.
when you try to correct them, because we very blunt people. Our generation is like we gonna tell you what it is. So when you tell them, I don't know, they feel some type of way about it. I just feel like this
But
generation entitled, man.
but let me ask you a question though. When you was in their shoes, and the older heads or your elders was trying to tell you what was up or what was to come, like when they say, "Hey, you either end up in jail or dead, you do this or yada yada yada,"
Hey, it's
you
true.
didn't always
It's a
take that serious. But
nah,
now
and it's a cycle because our kids ain't gonna take it serious. They kids not gonna take it serious.
they gonna have to
Everybody got
take
to
it
go to their
serious.
phase. Nah, but the difference was, we was getting thumped. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. Nowadays it's a little different.
Yeah, you
It's
can't, you can't, you can't beat on no kids nowadays.
like I like I remember back then, like we wasn't ain't none of y'all boys that come to school with no Balenciagas. Ain't nobody was coming to
Nah,
middle school with no Balenciagas, elementary school with no Balenciagas. So you wasn't trying to live up already to a
man, I
standard.
was wearing American Eagle, man.
I feel
Hollister, American Eagle, Nike, like we was basic. Nah, these kids wearing, you know, all types of designer, but these boys richer than me. I'm like, yeah, that boy in elementary school, full Balenciaga, full red bottoms. I'm like, golly, like, and these kids, they looking at, it's easy to affect them as a kid. You look at that, you like, dang, I'm just like him. Oh, he
because
But
get the
that's how they,
shoes he
that's how
got.
they, that's how they, that's how their minds get wrapped around that materialistic stuff, though.
Exactly, and it's nipped in the bud early, just like that. Boom,
because we
you
all
nipped in the bud.
because we all competing for attention on social media or any platforms, for the continuance of new content, so people can see us, or we could have that brag about, or oh, I got this. We always we got it. Our generation is basically the money makers, because last what you call it decades before, they was just the grinders, or they got it out the mud really. But
Yeah, yeah.
with
Our parents, yeah, our
generation,
parents got out of the mud, yeah.
we know how to scam, we know how to flip shit.
And they
Everybody
everybody
trying to
doing
own
that.
a business
Yeah.
is
We
way different.
our generation is just a bunch of entrepreneurs. That's how I see it. People that don't
Hmm
want to work for someone else, they just want to work for themselves.
And I feel like that was like partly influenced by social media also. Like
Looking
us,
at
like
the
a lot of like you get motivated. You see certain things, you get motivated. Like it's easy to do that. I'm motivated. Like I'm not comparing. I'm motivated. I want to own my own stuff too.
I have a quote for y'all boys. Y'all want to hear it?
Yeah, we listening.
It says, "The greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over the other," by William Jones.
That's a good one, and that's the hardest thing to do, man. Because when those million thoughts rush your brain, that's what causes anxiety. Because we don't know how to. Our brain can't properly put this thought where it goes, then put that thought where it goes, or understand that this thought is not a thought for right now. And that's why you just think in your mind, you feel like your mind racing. That's anxiety. You just You can't separate the thoughts. It's all become one big blend.
And that's right there. That's when the mental health start right there. When you don't know how to decipher that one thought.
Because you not
For real.
necessarily had to go through something traumatic to go to therapy. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably just can't figure out how to get those million thoughts and separate them into five. You know what I'm saying? Five important ones, or you know what I'm saying? So
And you don't, and something large don't have to happen for you to be traumatized. Like you could have been traumatized as a kid just from seeing a body in a casket too early. You know, like anything could literally just traumatize you young or even old. Like you see any little thing, it'll traumatize you. So you don't have to have,
even getting a whooping.
yeah, you even getting a whooping, you know. So you don't got to go to war to know what PTSD is or have PTSD. Like you can have PTSD from the smallest thing, and when you do, you need to get help. You need to seek help with stuff
For
like
sure.
that.
But not a lot of people know the trends.
Yeah. Everybody just think it's I had this major event happen, so nah, I gotta go see therapy.
Yeah, I'm glad we talked about this first, man. For real, it's very and I'm excited to hear what the people got to say. You know,
No,
Yeah, and I want to know, real quick, y'all boys. So if you don't have no access to it, like for example, me, I ain't never learned how to, get a therapist or go to therapy. So how would you give access to others who don't know? How do you get in contact with a therapist?
So the website I give my friends who actually interested in thinking about really doing it, goodtherapist.com. Um, Basically, it's a catalog full of therapists with their specialties and things like that, and what they specialize in, and also the insurance if they take your insurance. You get the free call, the introduction call to see what they need to help you with. Basically, it's just like you just talking, a conversation, and then from there, it's all you and her, you and them.
yeah. Send that website later because I got to see about that. I'm going back to therapy, so I'm trying to look for a good therapist for myself.
Yeah, I just needed the door to be open, and that's the door right there.
And what about the hotline? How can we get in contact?
As you guys know, last month was Suicide Awareness Month. This month is Mental Health Month. This month, for our podcast this week, we wanted to give you a little combination of both. So if you ever feel like you need any help or anything, the number to call 1-800-273-8255. Open up. Don't just give up right there.
And also be kind, man. You know, if you see somebody who's struggling, ask them if they need a little help. Ask them how they day going. Everybody too mean nowadays, man. You know what I'm
Real
saying? There's
talk.
people out here who you could change somebody's whole mood by saying, "Enjoy the rest of your day." You know what I'm saying? Something simple like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah,
Like I
always
said
check
about the
up on
couple
your
weeks.
friends. Always check up on your
Always.
friends.
Yeah,
That's
man. Had
very
these
helpful.
conversations. Had
Yeah,
these
like we do in our group
conversations
chat.
amongst your people, man. You'll be surprised that a lot of these people going through the same thing, and just they be needing somebody to talk to or just listen. So don't be scared to have these conversations amongst your friends and holler at your friends. Check on your friends.
No, yeah. So in our group chat, we got Mental Health Fridays where we check in every Friday, see what on a scale of 1 to 10, how you doing mentally. Yeah, sometimes you got to throw it in on a Wednesday. Things getting heavy. Throw it in on a Wednesday. Mix it up a little bit. See how they feeling on a Wednesday.
That midweek, see how they doing on hump day.
Yeah.
And we ain't get to ask you about that, Jay. What's your numbers on this week?
Oh man, I've been traveling, doing a lot of stuff. I'm at a 7 right now. It's not a bad 7, but it's a good 7. I just got a lot of going on right now. I'm balancing a lot of things, so it's a good 7.
Well, we here for you.
Well, it's good to hear from y'all boys.
For sure. Good to
Man,
hear y'all all in good spirits.
everybody in good
Everybody
health and
trending
things like that.
upwards at least.
That's the goal. Hey, is to be a better person than you was yesterday.
And
Number
do
one
something
goal.
good for somebody.